introduce our speaker, Dr. Doreena, our tech person here.
No way.
Like I said, I've got the pleasure of being introduced to Dr. Doreena. And first, let me give our disclaimer. This is a community call to educate the community about holistic healing. All the information and comments are the opinions and experiences of individuals. Unless introduced as a doctor, individuals on the call are not doctors. So please consult with your own doctor, or better yet, do your own research and find out more about your own body and how to help it heal itself. So let me introduce Dr. Doreena Brown. She is the founder and CEO of the Natural Holistic Wellness LLC and the creator of A Divine Prescription. I love that name, A Divine Prescription, a
Thank
faith
you.
centered, holistic framework helping spiritually minded women reclaim their vitality, confidence, and hormonal balance during menopause. As a woman who has personally walked this journey, she now empowers others to heal from the inside out, body, mind, and soul, using 8 simple, divinely designed health principles. And that is definitely what Sunshine and Wellness is all about. So I thank you for coming on, Dr. Doreena. And
Thank you.
and I'm going to let you take the floor. If there's anything you want to share before you begin, feel free.
Okay, good morning. Well, it's morning or afternoon now. Well, I'm in Florida, so I guess it's still morning. It's 10:47 a.m. right now. And I'm so happy to be here this morning. And Beverly, thank you for your invitation and also Laverne for introduction. I speak about the divine prescription, and I wish Beverly had told me more about the stress, so because I would have expounded more on that in my speech today. But there is also um, a lot about stress here as well. And of course, I am going to start by telling you about a divine prescription. But before I do that, I just want to share with you an incident. August 4th, 2024. I had just prayed and asked the divine to protect us from harm and danger. I was about to jump on a Zoom call regarding the same mission I am pursuing now, my calling, my purpose, this message. My son was driving, and we were on the freeway, Interstate I-95. Suddenly, a semi truck hit us from behind. The impact was so great. It sent our car swirling uncontrollable from the far east side of the freeway all the way to the west side, moving like this. The force of the hit sent us swirling about 80 to 100 miles per hour. And as if that was not enough, the same semi truck came up on the passenger side, my side, and we collided a second time. Just imagine that. And for those of you who know what a SLK 350 Mercedes-Benz look like, a small two-seater car against a 60-footer semi-truck. Take a moment and just picture this scene in your mind. This car can actually fit perfectly under the truck. Kind of reminds me of the story of David and Goliath, a giant against a small boy. The second impact sent us across the freeway. Again, my son held the steering wheel with one hand and my hand with the other and said, "Mom, are you okay?" To be honest, I don't remember if I answered yes or no. But at that point, there was nothing he could do. We were just waiting to be hit several times by the other vehicles coming behind us. But we ended up on the opposite side where the guardrail finally stopped the car. Later, we found out that there were 14 vehicles behind us that witnessed the accident. When the car finally stopped, people came running from all angles, some with water, asking if we were okay. At that moment, I felt like the President of the United States. There was so much activity going on. I was shaking in my boots. I checked myself. I checked my son. And do you know? We were alive. Of course, I have to be alive to check myself. There were no cuts, no bruises, no broken bones, but the car was total. Something supernatural happened, a divine intervention. And I kept thinking about the prayer I prayed just minutes before the accident, asking God for protection from harm and danger. And in that moment, I realized life is fragile. Time is not promised. And being alive is not the same thing as being well. And I believe that is one of the reasons I am standing here today to share this message with you. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you are doing everything you're supposed to do for your health, but you're still not well? Today, I am not here to sell you a miracle or to shame you into change. I am here to interrupt a cycle that keeps people managing symptoms instead of restoring health. A cycle that led you to believe that you can exist without divine power. Are you still tired? Still gaining weight? Still not sleeping? Still stressed? Still dealing with hot flashes, brain fog, anxiety, inflammation, high blood pressure, diabetes, and a host of other symptoms? Are you? Many women, especially in midlife and menopause, are alive, but not well. The problem is not that we don't take care of our health. The problem is this: we are out of alignment. We have lost connection with the divine design of the body, the divine design of our lives. Let's talk honestly for a moment, ladies. Menopause is not just hot flashes. It's weight gain, belly fat, mood swings. And I don't know if we have any men here today, but husbands, really educate yourself on menopause. Why? Don't be surprised if one day you're having a conversation with your wife when suddenly she gets angry and throw a cup at you. It could be that she's experiencing a menopausal moment. Is that she's gone crazy? Not everyone experiences the same symptoms. Symptoms differ from woman to woman, but menopause carries a host of different issues. And you will learn some about as I continue here. All right. So menopause is not just hot flashes, as I said, it's weight gain, it's belly fat, it's mood swings, and menopause is low energy. It's brain fog. Can't remember where you put your keys. How many of you have experienced that? Every day. It's low libido, dodging sexual intercourse. And you know what I'm talking about here. Because when you're going through menopause, you're experiencing some difficult things during sexual intercourse. Dryness, pain. Okay? So you got the right to be dodging this thing here. Okay. It's not feeling like yourself anymore. It's looking in the mirror and not recognizing the woman looking back at you. If it sounds familiar, drop your comment in the chat. And many women quietly ask themselves, will I ever feel like myself again? Will I ever get my confidence back? Will I ever get my energy back? And most importantly, will I ever get my sexy back? Very important to a woman. I'm here to tell you today, yes, you can get your health back. Yes, you can get your energy back. Yes, you can get your confidence back. And truly, you can get your sexy back. But guess what? It will not come from pills alone. No way. It won't. It comes from restoring the body the way it was divinely designed to function. And I'm thinking that most of you are asking me, divinely designed to function? Your body was divinely designed to function. I believe it was divinely designed. The Bible says, and for those who believes that we have a higher force in our lives that is guiding us, will resonate with this. The Bible says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We were fearfully and wonderfully made. No mistake. That means your body is not a mistake. Your body is wonderfully made. It also says, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, good health. That means health is not just medical. But here is the light bulb moment I want to give you today. Listen up. Healing does not begin with medication. I repeat that one. Healing does not begin with medication. Healing begins with divine alignment. Healing begins with divine alignment. What I call a divine prescription is built on 8 divine health principles. And I'm going to name them: nutrition, exercise, water. Water. I don't know if you see my bottle here, but you got to drink this. Okay? This is very important. Without water, how long will you live? How long will you live without this? I'll leave that for you to answer. Drop your questions or your comments in the chat. Sunlight, the doctor in the sky. That's how important sunlight is. It is a doctor, free of cost, in the sky. Temperance, and I wonder if you understand what temperance means. Let me just explain it for a minute. Temperance is anything that you do, overdo, or underdo. Intemperance, overdo or underdo. Even if it's good for you, you got to understand that temperance is important to your life. And I don't want to go into too much details with these principles here right now. So we have oxygen, which is hair. How long do you live without that? You think about that one. Sleep. And if you want to call 911, then you know if you live a few minutes without oxygen, you know where you're going. Huh. Um, Trust in divine power is the last one, but it embodies the previous 7. That should be at the top, but it's at the bottom because I wanted to, I like that more than the rest because without that, I wouldn't be even speaking here right now. Okay? These principles are universal. They apply to every disease, to every body, and every season of life. Science now confirms what scripture already knew. You're just finding out. God knew that long ago. That's why he created it. When the body, the mind, and the soul are aligned, the body moves towards healing naturally. What did I say? I'm going to repeat that. When the body, the mind, and the soul are aligned, the body moves towards healing naturally because we are natural. And anything that resonates with us got to be natural. Okay. This is not about doing more. It is about returning to what already works. Yes, it works. It's a blueprint. It works. God's blueprint. Before I go any further, I would like us to do a short divine alignment movement. Because information does not change lives. We can hear as much information as we want. There's so much information out there. It's overwhelming. I tell you what changed lives. Decision. Decision does changes your life. You got to make a decision. So if you have a pen and paper right now, or even on your phone, your notes on your phone, I want you to write this question down, the one I'm about to share with you. Come on, guys, take out your pens and your notebook if you have it, or grab your phone and just write this right now. The question is, if I, Dr. Doreena, or the people in the audience, or Beverly, or Laverne, if I don't change my health now, what will my life look like in 5 years? I'm asking you to do this because this is imperative. If I don't change my health now, what will my life look like in 5 years? I want you to think about that for a minute. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Will I have more energy or less? Will I be on more medication or less? Will I feel more confident or less? Will I be living or just existing? Serious question. Now, write the second question because I have another one for you. If I start taking care of my body the way God designed, if I start taking care of my body the way God designed, what could my life look like in 5 years? Who do you have more energy, more peace, more confidence? Ladies, less medication or none? Better sleep? So important. Better mood? Menopausal craziness disappears. Better relationships? Important to have great relationship. That's what makes the world runs. Especially a relationship with who? Hmm, your creator. Health is not just about how you feel today, my dear. Health is about the life you will be able to live tomorrow. And taking care of your health is not just physical, it is a spiritual responsibility. For your body is not your home. Just remember that. It is a spiritual responsibility. And I said it before I even think about it. Because your body is the temple of the what? What is your body the temple of? Anybody knows? Can you drop that in the chat? What is your body is the temple of who? The Holy Ghost. For those who don't know this, your body is not your own. It is the temple of the Holy Ghost. For those of you who don't understand this, your body is not your own. It is the temple of the Holy Ghost. So today, I don't just want you to listen to me because I speak a lot, but I just don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to me. Don't be mistaken, but I just want you to make a decision. I want today to be the day you make a decision. It is important. I want you today, and I want you today to be the day you make a decision to become what? The CEO of your health. Make a decision to become the CEO of your health. Because if you don't make a decision to become the CEO of your health, who is going to? Nobody. You got to care enough about your life, your health, to make that decision. to become the CEO of your health, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. I just want you to know this. I have seen these principles transform lives. Yes, no mistake about it. I have seen these principles transform lives. And I'm talking about every disease out there. I'm not just talking about menopause here. I'm talking about every disease, including, they have transformed life, including my life. That's why I'm speaking so confident. I'm not just talking because I can talk, and I'm just talking because I learned something in school and I've studied alternative medicine. No, I am a living example of what I'm speaking about. Not because they're extreme, but because they are simple and sustainable. Women who were diagnosed with stage 4 cancer had their bodies restored back to health. Yes, yes, yes. Women who came to me exhausted now wake up with energy. Women overwhelmed by symptoms now feel grounded and confident. You want your confidence back? Yeah. When you start looking good in the mirror, you get your confidence, don't it? Yeah, you get your confidence back. Women who felt disconnected from their bodies now trust themselves again. And the most beautiful part of this, they didn't become dependent on me. They actually become empowered. Way to go. The Bible says, know ye not. And I'm repeating this because it is so important, because it's a spiritual responsibility that your body is God's temple. That's found in First Corinthians 6 and verse 19. So if your body is the temple, we cannot treat it like a storage unit. We can treat it like a storage unit. A storage unit for what? Stress? Stress? A storage unit for sugar? And I know Lauren can speak to you about this one. Sugar is a culprit. Sugar is an enemy. And the industry feeds us with sugar, which is detrimental to our health. Just wanted to say something. And they're hidden. So if you don't know the names, ask Laverne. So if our body is a storage unit for stress and sugar, and we're getting no sleep, sleep brings restoration to the body. We're getting no rest and expect it to function properly. Don't work. After that accident, I asked myself, if my life was spared, then you better be thankful you wake up this morning, because it's not guaranteed. Okay? If after that accident, I asked myself, if my life was spared, then I have a responsibility to take care of the life that was spared. Yes, you have a responsibility to take care of your life. You do. One of the 8 principles is trust in divine power. It says, come unto me, and I'm speaking about stress now. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Whatever you can carry on your own, which we really can't carry anything, to be honest with you, you should lay it at the feet of the Creator. He asked you to. He didn't ask you to carry anything. I will give you rest. Rest from a lot of things that we can carry. Many women today are not just physically tired, they are mentally tired. You know what I'm talking about. We carry a lot of stress as women more than anybody else. Got to be everything. Emotionally tired and spiritually disconnected. How are you going to handle the cares of this world if you're spiritually disconnected? You got to find some anchor. You got to find some rest. Stress is one of the biggest destroyer of health, especially during menopause. You're already depleted and you're stressing. Stress destroys your hormones. And you know, hormones regulate the entire body. Different hormones for different roles. So stress destroys your hormones. Stress increases your belly fat. Your cortisol rises. Diabetes is on the way. Stress increases your blood pressure. The silent killer. You feel okay, but you're not okay. And then one day you have a sudden stroke or a sudden heart attack because your blood pressure is out of whack. Stress. Stress is what I'm talking about. Stress increases inflammation. Oh, yeah. All kinds of inflammation. Leaky gut syndrome. You have H. pylori. You'll have, what do you call these things here? Joint pain. You have heart palpitation. All kind of stuff. I can't bother go to the list. Stress causes every disease. Every disease. Because I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. When your body is stressed, it cannot heal. Your body cannot heal if it's in a stress mode. Even if you're eating, for example, menopausal woman, if you're eating all of the phytoestrogen foods that produces estrogen in your body, it won't take effect if you're in a stress mode. If you're drinking 8 glasses of water per day and you're undergoing stress, it does nothing for you. You're going in the wrong place. Because when you are stressed, the whole chemical in your body changes. Decreases serotonin. No wonder you can't sleep. You don't have no joy. Melatonin. Everything in your body is chaotic when you're stressed. Stress affects sleep, memory, mood. Your body cannot heal if it is already in a stress mode. No matter what you give your body, it cannot heal. But peace that surpasses all understanding from the divine allows the body to heal. And I have found this Bible text to be one of the greatest antidote for stress. Listen, this is the greatest antidote for stress. It is found in Philippians 4 and verse 6. Be anxious over nothing. I don't care what it is. Be anxious over nothing, but with prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, make your requests be known unto who? Your creator, God, if you believe in one, or the higher force, the divine power, whatever it is you call it. He's telling you to be anxious over nothing. Now, that is something to think about. You can imagine waking up not stressing over about nothing, absolutely nothing. That's beautiful. Knowing that if you take it over there and you file it over there, it's taken care of. Your belief system is very important. Mind is important in everything because the mind is the man, and whatever a man thinketh, that's what he is. So shall he be. So, I didn't come here to speak about mind, but trust me, the mind is the man. It's important. Before you can do just about anything in your life, your mind is your leader. The mind is the leader of the body. You ever heard this saying? Whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. It's the truth. Our limit in life is seated right here. The mind, the seat of intelligence. We are going to do what is called an action moment. Speaking about the breath of life, the breath of life. We're going to do an exercise. And for those of you who are listening to me, okay, I'm going to ask you to sit up on your chairs. Sit up straight. We're going to be doing what is called a 4-7-8 breathing exercise. Breathing in the breath of life, so important. So sit back in your chairs. Put one on your chest and one on your stomach. We are going to breathe in for 4 seconds. Just going to tell you the directions before we do it. We're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. We're going to hold for 7 seconds. And we're going to exhale on 8 seconds. You're going to breathe out through your mouth. All right, so let us begin. Close your eyes if you have to. And let's breathe in for 4 seconds. We hold it for seconds and exhale in 8. Let's go. Let's do it again. One more time. Thank you so much. You can now open your eyes. So, how many of you feel a bit calmer right now? Thank you. Drop your answer in the chat. This is the nervous system that shifted. Shifting. When you take in a deep breath, your nervous system shifts immediately. Okay, so this is the nervous system shifting. That is the body responding to peace. And that is the beginning of healing. So what I would like you guys to do from now on, starting today, take 5 minutes every day for the rest of your life for one of these prior. Pray first thing in the morning and the last thing at night. That gives you some grounding, some foundation. You have to develop a relationship with the Creator. Take just 5 minutes to pray first thing in the morning and the last thing at night. Stay still for about 5 minutes. Just stay still. Don't think about nothing. Don't do nothing. Just be quiet. Stay still for 5 minutes. Very imperative. It's imperative to do the breathing exercise I just showed you. Show some gratitude. Gratitude matters. Give thanks. Because when the mind is at peace, the body can heal. Not in the stress mode. When your mind is at peace, the body heals. Just like hearing the good news, it's a nervous shift takes place right there and then. Good news is good for the soul. Bad news, how many people you ever notice that when they get the bad news, they start laughing? Unless they're crazy. It's a shift. A nervous shift takes place because the mind receives something encouraging. So when you have a relationship with God, it's encouraging. You know that there's somebody out there that cares about you. You know that there is somebody who can bear your burden. You know that you can bring it to him and leave it there. That's a nervous shift. Your body starts to heal. Start to feel better. You start to look better. You feel it's going to conquer the world because you have somebody that doesn't fail, somebody that you know don't make mistakes. You have guidance. And I believe that. Because when your body or when the mind is at peace, the body can heal. So this is why I created a divine prescription framework and wrote the divine prescription ebook. Is to help you guys to know that we have an anchor, that we have a creator that's concerned about our welfare and our well-being. And this guide, it will teach you what to eat. It contains recipes and grocery lists so you don't have to feel frustrated in the kitchen. How your daily habits can restore energy and health. How to use affirmation and spiritual alignment to reduce stress. When and if you choose to purchase today, you're going to receive 3 bonuses. How much did I say? 3 bonuses. You're going to receive a guided divine meditation to help you emotionally, to take away the stress from your life. Just do this. It helps. You also have a divine prescription e-journal to track your progress. And importantly, you're going to receive 1 year free community full membership access in a divine plan for your health community. Free for a year. It is a sacred space designed to support your healing, alignment, and your restoration. You know, the full value of this transformation is $545.57. But because you are here today and it's so important to become the CEO of your health, today it's only going for $59.99. Because you know what? Access matters. It does. If this resonates with you, you can take action now. You can click the link provided in the chat. Beverly is going to drop that in the chat for you. But I'm going to leave this with you today. No money, no money can replace your health. No success matters without a divine wellness plan. Your health is your greatest wealth. And if you really want to know, try and get sick. I'm not saying this for a joke. Your health is your greatest wealth. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and loses his soul? You're not taking anything with you. You're leaving it behind for all the cousins and the relatives you hate, even if you like them. You're going to leave it. So your health is important. We were created to live fully, to live vibrantly, to live divinely. God spared my life. And you know what my mission is? Is to help you get back your life. For when the mind is at peace, the body can heal. Peace is not just a feeling. It is a divine prescription. So if you want to become aligned, your divine prescription is waiting. Thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity. Do have a wonderful day. Walk with light and grace.
That was absolutely beautiful. Very empowering. I was while you were talking, I was like, this would be an amazing sermon on a
Thank
Sunday. Really, and honestly, I mean that from my heart. Um,
you.
we are open for questions and answers. I just wanted to share a comment on a couple of things that you had mentioned. You talked about the sugar. Oh my gosh. I used to teach, and when they would give the kids the milk. And when we looked on the back of that, I think, if I remember correctly, I think the chocolate milk had about maybe 16% of sugar, and
Ah,
the white milk had 13% sugar.
yes,
And I'm
yes.
like, what? We're thinking, okay, encourage them to get the white milk so that they won't be so hyper in class. But it was full of sugar as well.
If you know how bad sugar is, and I'm not the expert to talk to Laverne about that, but I know a lot about sugar and what sugar does. Sugar reduces your immune system. Now think about it for 1 minute. Your immune system, when it is reduced, you're susceptible to all disease, right?
Yep.
So if your immune system is to prevent you from getting diseases, it's a defense, lymphatic defense. So the thing about it is if your immune system is declined, then you can get just about anything. And sugar does that. So you see how bad sugar is, and they don't tell you, the mainstream, they don't tell you that they try to hide it behind so many different products. And if you don't know the names, because they use all kind of fancy names to tell you, and when you get addicted, it's an addiction. Sugar addiction is one of the worst addiction that you can have. It's worse than heroin. Yes, it is. And I wish we are educated on this topic a lot to save us because ADD, ADHD, all the mental issues that are going on with kids and everybody else, sugar, hidden sugar, diabetes. Diabetes. I just want to, you guys to know, diabetes is one of the worst disease that you can have. And I'm going to tell you why. Because diabetes affects every organ in your body, everyone. And then they call it, we black people talk about, okay, I got a little sugar. I ain't no little sugar. It's death because it affects everything and will continue to affect everything. And they tell you it's chronic. Diabetes is not chronic, it can be reversed. And a divine prescription reverses diabetes. Okay? Sorry, but I will start preaching. And I don't want to start preaching.
No, preach on, preacher. No, no, you good. Um,
Thank you.
yes, I love that. Another thing that you mentioned was the alignment with the divine. And when you said that, it reminded me of so many things in my life. When a miracle happened, it was when I was aligned. Um, for example, being completely stressed and just out of my mind stressed, and turning on some gospel music and grabbing my daughters and we just dance, and miracles would happen every single time I would do that. Now, it wouldn't work when I would do it just to make it happen and I'm still thinking about that thing or trying to do it for that to happen. But whenever I would just get the girls and we would just dance and I would forget about the issue, it would, whatever it was miraculously corrected every single time. So
Yes,
that was one thing I wanted to share. And then also the power of the mind. I was listening to something the other day and they were talking about like when a person is hypnotized, it's their mind, they get the mind to do different things. And the example was a cigarette. If you put a cigarette on somebody's skin, but you tell them that it's their finger, it's the person's finger, the person doesn't blister. When you
that's
tell
right.
the person that they're putting a cigarette on their hand and it's your finger, they will blister. And when I heard that, I'm like, wow, our minds are so powerful.
Our minds are the most important aspect of our lives. I stress that a lot because every decision that you make in life is from the mind. Everyone, whether it be good or whether it be bad. So the first thing that we need to train, and I wish they have this in the curriculum in school for young children, because it is so important to train the mind. That's why the scripture said, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That's what that means. You got to bend the tree when it's young. Not that you cannot earn a mindset, a perfect mindset, or a good mindset when you're older, because you could do just about anything when you make a decision. And that's also the mind again.
Yeah.
So decision making happens when we make up our minds to do what is good. And if we are trained, or train our minds to believe in what God says from an early age, we will have no problem accessing that mindset older in life because we have implanted in our nervous system or in our brains synapses of greatness, I call it. There is no greater power on the face of this earth than a beautiful mind. So, ladies, whenever you're looking for a relationship with a man, look for a beautiful mind first. Because a beautiful mind is all that matters, not the facade of physical beauty when the mind is messed up. Because that is what you live with. You live with the mind. The mind is the most important thing in your life. And I just want to, we have this problem with society and our parents that embed certain things in our mind as children, and we carry them through life, whether you know it or not. It is a fact. And some of the things that are disturbing us these days is what was embedded in our minds from a child. Self-worth, self-esteem, what you can or you can't do. It's all here. It's a lie. The devil is a liar. It is said, whatever the mind can conceive, you can achieve. You can. Even though you may not see it through the physical eyes, but if you see it through the mind's eyes, it's possible.
Mhm.
It is very, very important that you create within you the things that are real, that are true, that are acceptable, that the Lord ordered. So if he tell you that he provides a divine prescription, which is what he ordered, that's his framework, and why you think you can heal from diabetes? Why do you think you can heal from cancer? Why do you think that what he ordered, he made you, he created you? So therefore, whatever he orders is supposed to heal you. You just need to get in alignment mentally, physically, and spiritually. For without that, you're not going to be healed. And I'm very serious about this because you can't handle stress. Stress will handle you. And there's only one place you're going to be 6'6", ashes to ashes, dust to earth. No problem with that because we were created from the earth. And if we go back there, well, all of us are going to go back there. But I believe in much more than that. But there's life after that too. But you know what determines that? When you become the CEO of your health, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I told you I don't want to preach.
Preach on, preach on. It's okay. You know, that reminds me of a comment that a lot of people say, well, we die someday. But my comment about that is, I hate when people say that because what they don't realize is, yeah, you'll be living on this earth, but you're not going to be living on this earth.
You're
You're
existing.
sick, exactly. You're
Yeah, not living.
existing. You're in pain. You're, doubled over. You got a cane, or whatever the case may be, because you're not being the CEO of your
Of
body.
your health.
Yeah,
Yes, and your life. That's the truth.
most definitely. She is preaching. That's right in the comments. And
Thank
somebody
you.
else said, "You have me shouting over here."
I can't help it. I gotta preach the word.
That beautiful. One thing I wanted to ask you about what you're saying.
Yes.
So stress is inevitable. We experience stress all the time. What can someone do if they've got these bills? More is going out than it's coming in. You've got your menopause and your hot flashes. Your man just left, or whatever the case may be. How do you manage that? What to do in that situation when you've got all of this stress going on around you?
I am thinking about that myself right now. And the reason why I'm thinking about it is because that's a very, very important question. Because we're human. The human aspect of us always want to take over.
Yes.
We want to manage everything. It's just natural. I can do this. I don't want to do that. Why should I do that? And that brings me right back to what I just said not too long ago. We are not in control. Anytime you come to that understanding that you're not in control and you have somebody, you have an anchor, that is how we deal with this. So how are you going to exist? I mean, your husband decides to leave you, you didn't do anything, or he's cheating somewhere and you didn't do anything to, or even if you did, it's something that happens. Could be the best wife. No guarantee that he's going to stay with you, right? You have bills to pay and you try everything that you're going to do to keep everything in order. And I know we deal with this every single day of our lives. That brings on additional stress. And your children, people who you don't even worry about you. I mean, these are all stress related. They bring on stress in your life because We don't want, it's chaotic. Our lives are chaotic every day in some aspect. No matter what you do. You send your children to school and all of a sudden you meet in a car accident, die. You can't control those things. The way you can control those things is to leave it to your divine. Take it to me. I will handle it. Take it to the cross. He can. When you have a relationship, let me just say this. When you have a relationship with God, it is the most important thing you can have. I'm going to tell you why. I have my own personal experiences. And I told you about a story where I was on the road traveling and I was about to jump on a Zoom call. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pray. You really think it's Doreena protect herself or my son who is a driver that protect us? No, there was a supernatural intervention. This is what God does for you when you have a relationship with Him. He teaches you, He guides you, He protects you, and He provides for you. It's not what you do or how good you are that matters. Is your alignment with Him that matters. How many times have you waken up and you don't know what the day is going to be like? You pray. That's why I say pray first thing in the morning. The minute you wake, you pray because you have no idea what your day is going to be like. Absolutely no idea. So you put it in His hands. Protect me, provide for me, guide me, order my steps. When God order your step, you're good. You are good when He orders your step. You don't have to fear. If you could see with your physical eyes how protected you are each day, you would be amazed. The guidance and the protection is massive. Is angels, every human being on the face of the earth as an angel, if you don't know. God appoints an angel for you to take care of you. And even when you're doing your own thing and you're not paying any mind, they are there protecting you. They are there. So when you ask Him, whatever you ask in my name, you shall receive in a sweet refrain. All you got to do is ask in faith, believing. You got to have faith. You got to believe. And it all goes back to your belief system. What do you believe? Believe kills and believe cures. So when you have all this chaotism going on, look up, for you got somebody that cares for you. That is a stress reliever.
Oh my God. What you just did, and you probably don't even realize that what you did, but it was the example of how allowing divine to give you your answer. Because at
Yeah.
first, when I gave you the question, you were kind of like, well, and you kind of hesitated and you were thinking about it, but the answer, it was like the answer poured into you, and your response was divine. I
Thank
must
you. I
say,
do
it was
appreciate that.
divine. And this is what I'm promoting with our call is for us to be able to tap into that power within us so that we can get the answers from the divine, just like you just did in front of us. That was
Thank you.
amazing. That was awesome.
It's coming from a deep place.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Let me share this story, which my people have heard several times, because the importance and the power of the story is why I keep sharing it. You mentioned how the power is within the mind, whether it's to, to heal or to, get ill.
Mhm.
And when I was going through some stress, my husband was in and out of the hospital, but whenever he was in the hospital, I had all the burden. I had to take care of the kids, I had to take care of the household, I had to check on him, and it would stress me out more. So I was like, you know what? I just need a week off, even if it's in the hospital. I just need some rest. And what do you know? I wind up with a stroke.
Ooh.
So in the midst, and it wasn't just a regular stroke; it was a major stroke. And in the midst of it, when I was getting it was like vertigo, but it was like a seesaw effect. I was getting it and I was throwing up and I was just, my husband was driving me to the place. And on the way there, I just kept saying, I'm healed. I'm healed. Through his stripes, I'm healed, and try to tap into the power that I have within. And I was saying this the whole way. And once I got there, I had believed it. At first, I didn't, of course, because all of this is going on. But I convinced myself that I was healed. So when the doctor came in and said, you had a stroke, it was like he said, you had a cold. It
Hmm.
had no power. The illness, the stroke had no more power. And the stroke I had, they said that, they were asking me if I had a handicap ramp and all this. And I'm like, why are you saying this? I'm moving around. I had my strength. Everything was just fine. So, in conjunction with what you're saying, the power is definitely in the mind. If you think
Yes, it
that,
is.
if you want to take some rest in a hospital, my friend, if you keep thinking that, you'll wind up resting in the hospital. Let's hope it doesn't go to that. Whenever I start feeling stressed now, I'm like, oh, I just need it. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm fine. I am fine. So just keep
I
that in
just want to say something. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and he delivers them. That's what happened to you. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and he delivers them. Remember, a lot of doctors tell you you're going to die within a certain time. If you believe that you're going to die,
Yeah.
if you know that he's not the number one doctor, and you know who the number one doctor is, it's not Doreena. It's not all of those fancy names and PhDs and behind the name. That is the doctor. I'll tell you who the doctor is. The doctor is God. He makes no mistakes. Absolutely no mistakes. So when you are doing your affirmation, it's because you have a divine connection. And because you believe in the divine connection that you have, then you get results. You got divine results.
Yeah. You're sharing
It
an
is the truth.
absolutely necessary message. That is
Yeah.
absolutely necessary. You had mentioned earlier about the news, and a while back I had stopped watching the news because it's depressing. It's depressing.
Oh, very depressing.
And whenever I hear all this negative stuff, I start feeling it. So I stopped watching the news, and people would
Mhm.
say, "Oh, you need to watch the news. You need to know what's going on in the world." And I'm like, "Well, whatever I need to know about, God will reveal to me."
That's right.
And I remember one time, because I don't watch zombie movies, I don't watch those scary movies like horror
Mm.
movies anymore. I used to love it, but I stopped watching it because I realized when I go outside at night, I'm just like scared of monsters, which is ridiculous. So, so I stopped watching it. And one day I was watching TV, and I'm like, this zombie movie came on, and I was drawn to the zombie movie. And I watched the zombie movie. It was basically about this pandemic that was going on with this community, and people were turning into zombies and all of that. And
Mhm.
right after it went off, here came a news. I clicked to the TV, and the news thing came on of COVID. I didn't know anything about COVID at the time, but it brought my attention to what was going on. So God was trying to tell me, okay, look, there's something going on you need to pay attention to. And
Yeah.
boom, there it was. Other than
Yeah.
that, I would only find out through family or friends or things like that. So I was convinced at that moment that I did not have to worry about watching the news, that it would be brought to me. If I
Isn't it
believe,
amazing? Isn't it amazing how God used different things to get our attention?
yeah, especially a zombie
Even,
movie.
even bad stuff.
Yes.
Even bad stuff. It's amazing. Sometimes you must not just say it's the devil. Sometimes it's God causing you to go through an experience to bring you closer to Him. Even a bad experience. He takes you to the fire because He's trying to teach you something. Whether He's trying to teach you patience. Some of the adversaries that we go through are God's divine intervention. And most of the times they're not pretty. For example, look at Joseph. Joseph was a dreamer. He was young. His brothers didn't like him. And he used to dream, they were jealous. But look at what Joseph had to go through to get to the kingdom. 30 years of what? Isolation, imprisonment, just because he wants to do the right thing and he was chosen. Guys, when you are chosen, you're going to be going through a lot. But you got to know who have your back. So don't be surprised if you're going through adversaries. And you're wondering, God not hearing my prayer? God is hearing your prayer. He hears everything. You're just not ready, and you're not going to get to your prize until you're ready. He has to prepare you before he can give you access to carry out a job. He trains you. You're in school. Every day of your life, you're in school. And when he's ready to use you, trust me, nobody can stop it. For whatever door God's open, no man shut.
That is right.
And whatever door he closes, no man opens. And that no weapons formed against me shall prosper.
All right. All right. Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Um, wow, you made me forget what I was going to say. that, that is such a powerful message. Um,
Thank you.
wow. Anybody have any questions before we close out? I want to close out, but I want you to share with us more about your book, about how to reach you, how, if anybody wants to get in contact with you, how they can get in contact. Now, I did
Okay,
find
did you drop the link in the chat?
yes, the link is there.
Okay, that is the link to my book. Um, I can leave you my email address for those who are listening
Okay.
and my telephone number, of course. So my email address is the natural health spa at gmail.com. The
Amen.
natural health spa at gmail.com. The natural, they are together, the natural health spa all together at gmail.com.
Okay.
And my telephone number is 561 676. Thank you, Laverne. 3225. 561 676 3225. And my website, the Natural Holistic Wellness.com. And that's my order form right there, where you could get the Divine Prescription ebook. This book is full of a lot, maybe too much. It speaks about the mind, beginning. It speaks about the mind first. And then you have all of the principles, sharpen list, affirmation, prayer, meditation. All of that is in there. Grocery list, recipes, how to live optimally with your health. How menopausal women could use phytoestrogen foods to restore your health so you don't even have symptoms. All of that is in the book. How to eat, rest, simple nutrition to get your physical alignment, your mental clarity, and your spiritual peace. Or you connect with God's law to find lasting balance. That's what it's about. Don't hesitate, become the CEO of your health today and make a decision to change your life in all aspect, not just one, in all aspect. I would greatly appreciate if you do that because that's what my mission is to empower not just menopausal women, but every body that come in contact with Dr. Doreena. I really don't know how long this world is going to last, but I want to leave my legacy here. And if this resonates with you, join the bandwagon because we're going to be going places.
Yeah, well, Sunshine and Wellness is definitely going to join your bandwagon because what
Thank
you're
you.
doing is definitely in line with what we're doing as well.
Appreciate that so much, Beverly. And I so thank you for having me here.
Thank
And I want to be in more platforms. So if you know of any more, just hook me up. I don't care much about money. I more care about getting my message out there.
Yeah, well, I hope that one day you'll be back on it because your message is powerful. It's very
Thank
powerful.
you. Appreciate that too.
Yeah, the body is a beautiful thing.
It's amazing.
And I hope that everyone that is listening to this today realizes and takes this home that your body is a beautiful thing and it can heal itself.
It
Uh,
can.
Reach out to Dr. Doreena. Log in to get our to get involved with our program. Um, Give me a call if you have any questions of anything, and we will close out on this at this note. And again, Dr. Doreena, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Byrne for introducing me to Dr. Doreena. And hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday in our program. And if not, then we'll see you on Saturday for the ladies who lunch. I'm excited about that as well. So everybody, whatever you do today, do something intentional. Love yourself, love your body, love somebody else. Peace and love, everybody. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
day.
Appreciate it.
Peace and
Thank
love, everyone.
you.